everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. And it's Saturday today, and I always come on Saturday and make a project with you. It is a bright, beautiful day here on the West Coast. Yeah, warm and sunny, so nice that hopefully this will continue through the fall. It's been a really lovely, lovely summer, and so we'll hopefully continue. All right. That may mean you're not in your craft room today if it's bright and sunny where you are, but if you're watching this, let me know where you're from, and if you're going to catch this on the replay, leave a comment. I love to see everybody watching on the replay. All right, today I'm going to make a Halloween card. It's my first Halloween card, I think, of the season, and I am going to use the Give It a Whirl dies. Now, I learned something when I was at Backstage in New Orleans. These Give It a Whirl dies were the top selling standalone dies in last year's annual catalog. I had no idea. That wasn't something that I would have expected. I would have thought it was maybe the Stylish Shapes dies or something else. But anyway, Give It a Whirl, who knew? So these are really fun dies in that you can make interactive cards. Hey, Susan, welcome, and Sandy, welcome. So you can make interactive cards, and Lynette, welcome. So these dies allow you to make a card that you can kind of turn the dial and see different images going round and round. So they're really fun. Whether you're an adult or a child, I know that everybody would love these kinds of cards because they're always kind of a surprise. All right, let me switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. So first of all, I'm using the Scary Sweet. So this, hey Betty, welcome. This is actually part of a bundle, Halloween bundle, but I thought these images, kind of silhouettes, would be perfect for this. Now, if you've never seen one of these, I don't have a card to show you, but this is what is the wheel. And so we're going to fit more or less. You won't get the whole image in. Some of them you might if I use this little guy here. And so this is what I'm going to stamp in each of these sections of this die. And then you cut, where is it? Oh, I think I've already got it. I've already kind of got some things attached. So there is this layer piece that cuts the front, and then there are different shapes for the opening on this wheel. So you could make the opening a rectangle, you could make the opening a heart or a circle, but I'm going to keep it as this kind of pie shaped. And then there are all sorts of dies, so clouds and stars, and even dies that will emboss or cut out arrows to show somebody, just in case they're not sure what the heck this card is about, to show them that, turn the wheel and you will get different images. Okay, let's get started. So I've got my pieces here. I cut out some of looks like I'm missing a star already. Oh well. Oh no, there it is. I cut out the stars. There are 2 dies, so I've cut out some purple stars. This is in Gorgeous Grape. My background is going to be Gorgeous Grape, and this is 5.5 by 8.5. So let's just grab our paper trimmer. And we're going to score it at 4 1/4. You could make it 4 1/4 by 11 if you wanted to, but I decided I would make a booklet style. So this is the side I scored on. Let's turn it over and fold it on the score line and give it a good crease. Okay, so there's my card base in Gorgeous Grape. I cut out a piece. Now, I can't remember what this is called. It's all black and white. Oh gosh, let me think what that's called. And I have to look it up. Isn't that terrible? I actually can't remember the name. Oh, it's called Black and White Designs. Well, that's kind of, a no-brainer. All right, so I've cut a piece of this Black and White Designs, and I've got the the black, kind of gray and black stars. That's going to be kind of my front of my card. And I have layered over it. That was cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I layered over it this main base that you use for your card. So that was what I did. There is a hole right here, so you do need these brads. So we have round and square brads, so you do need those. And then decide what shape you want your opening to be. And I have just gone ahead and aligned my brain is gone. What is that? That is the little opening, the little dot that you will put your brad through. Okay, I have just kind of decided that I'm going to have my opening there. You could move it. You could have your opening down below here, but I'm just going to put some adhesive, this is Post-it note tape to hold that in place. And then grab your Stamp and Cut and Emboss, a pinhole. Thank you, Lynette. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I completely lost that word. All right, so I'm going to run this through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Yes, the pinhole. Okay, so there I've got that cut. You could do it in 2 steps if you wanted to, but it makes it easy if you just cut it out all at once. All right, so then this piece comes off. So now I can put those 2 back. And I probably should have cut this at the same time. So I've got a piece of basic white. So I'm just going to cut this. This is what I'm going to stamp on. So let me just grab my machine again. I've done this all at once if I was thinking about it. I didn't want to cut too much of this in advance because I did think, oh, maybe I should cut these pieces. But I kind of wanted to show you how easy it was actually to cut the pieces, and then you could see all the pieces that you actually need. Okay, I think I've got everything cut now. So this also has a pinhole in it. So you can see that these are going to align, and then we're going to stamp. Now, one of the things, when I made one of these cards before, I wasn't really thinking about how this was going to turn, and I stamped it so my images were going kind of all the wrong way. So when you are stamping images, and let me just grab some images that I'm going to stamp. Like I said, I haven't used this, so let's pull out. So let's use maybe this one, maybe this one, and let's do some bats. These are the smaller, the ones I've chosen are this one, and then these 3. And maybe actually I'll put the moon with the bats. You could do any of these, and it just won't, what will happen is the whole image won't show up, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's see what I need. We'll eventually have to put the labels on these, but I'm not there. All right, so that's for the bats. Not sure where all my, there they are, all my blocks are. And the moon. Okay. Now, the next one. So when you're stamping, what I did was I stamped them all going the same way. And so that didn't work out. So when you're stamping, you need to think about where your opening is, so that you actually get it stamped so that the image shows up the right way around. When I stamped, this is a card I made before, I thought, oh, I'm so clever. I will stamp, it's so it's this way. And then I stamped it this, I don't know. I stamped it wrong. So when you're when you're doing it, I had upside down images. So when you're stamping, I guess what I'm trying to tell you is when you're stamping, make sure you give it some thought about where that image is going to be and what direction you need to stamp in. So if it means, and I probably will do this, if it means laying this front piece back on and then figuring out where to stamp, go for it, because don't do what I did where I ended up with them going all the wrong direction and I had to start over. So my first image, so if this is my piece, there's my, it's laying up the pinhole. So I want it to be like this. So I'm going to take, and I actually am going to, so I'm going to have it kind of on the diagonal. So if I keep it there, I'm stamping in Gorgeous Grape. And so I'm going to take and stamp that. Ooh, that's an extra layer. Okay. So now you can see that I have this piece, or this image, so it will turn. Now, when I turn, kind of just use your hands to, or you know, to turn it around, and you can kind of see the sections on here. So when I do this again, if I get to my next section, I'm going to stamp this little guy. So I want him to kind of go right there. So I just find this much easier to do is if I have my, I kind of have my piece and I layer it. So there I go. Now I'm going to put some bats, I think, here. So you won't see all of those, but you will see some of the bats with him. Okay, so now let's do this again. We're going to turn this and get to the final section. And this one I want to just stamp some bats. So I actually can do this without. So there's some bats, and now let's do the moon. There we go. Okay. So now I've got my images stamped. I hope that explained it. I just yeah, that's a good idea, Sandy. A pencil mark will also work well. But something so that you can kind of keep track of which direction your images need to go in. Now, these die, or these brads, come in little tiny ones with, you know, round, and then the larger square, and they are all in white and black. And I think there may have been smaller squares, but I have used a fair amount of these. So I'm going to use white, I think. Yeah. So put your brad through that pinhole and then close it over. Close it on the back. And now you've got your interactive card. Isn't that cool? I just think this is so fun. No wonder it was the #1 selling set of dies. Now, when you're adhering this on, what you don't want to do is adhere it so your interactive piece, this circle, is going to be adhered down. So I'm going to take dimensionals and I am just going to use them on the corners. So I make sure that the interactive piece that will continue to go round and round. And I think I need just a couple more here. This is a big piece of designer series paper to adhere down. There's my dimensionals here. There. So we're just going to put some, you could use the strips as well, but I think this will hold it. All right. So I could have used another piece of cardstock or designer series paper behind this to, because it's actually a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Oopsie. Dimensional stuck to my finger. There we go. Okay. Now, so this is still working. We've got this being interactive, which is really cool. Okay, so let's, I need to stamp a sentiment. And I didn't really think about this. I think I want a little bit more purple. So I am going to cut this. My sentiment will be, I'm going to use the one that says "Trick or Treat, You're So Sweet." And I think if I cut this layer to be 1 inch, I'm going to put it across. That's my goal, is to put it across like that, and then I will stamp my sentiment piece on top. Now, I do need to trim this, so let's figure out how wide this piece is. So this is 3 3/4. So we'll trim this to be 1 inch by 3 3/4. So that will go across like that. And then I'm going to cut, oh, that's the inside. I don't want to do that one. Let's take this extra piece. So I'm going to cut this to be 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. There we go. So I'm going to put this across like that. And we'll stamp. I think I'll stamp it in Gorgeous Grape. It just feels like I need something other than black on here. So let's take my sentiment. Let's hope this is big enough. Okay, always test to see how straight it is. Not too bad, actually. Okay. Oh, got a halo on that one. Don't. So turn it over. Let's hope we don't get a halo on this one. So if you find you get halos when you're stamping, it's because you're kind of rocking your cardstock or your stamp. So just make sure you go straight up and down when you're stamping. And if you get a halo like I did, turn it over and use the other side. Okay, so we will adhere that. Go. And that just shifted on me. That's the good thing. Well, the good thing and the bad thing about liquid glue is it gives you time. So I had lots of time because it was still kind of soft to adjust it, but it does wiggle a little bit. So I'm going to take and use dimensionals. When I've got a kind of wide piece of cardstock that I'm adhering down, I stagger with my dimensionals so it doesn't wobble so much. Hello, Polly. Welcome. All right, so we will put that like that. I can still move this around. Now, what else was I going to do? Why did I think I was going to? Okay, so I grabbed a few things. Let's see what I can use out of what I grabbed. I grabbed this really cool black and white ribbon, black and white gingham ribbon. I have, these are the classic matte dots. And of course, I have the stars that I cut out. So I think I will put some stars on. I'm just going to use glue dots. So let's kind of brighten the card up. If I really wanted to brighten it up, I could use something like pumpkin pie or parakeet party. I love the combination of purple, the Gorgeous Grape, the black, and the parakeet party. Definitely feels like a Halloween card. And so we'll just put glue dots on each of these stars. So there are 2 dies that cut out these stars in 3 different sizes. So I just cut both of them out. There we go. So let's put a star. some little stars now. All right, so there's some purple stars. So what I'm going to do, I think, with these, the classic matte dots, is I'm going to color. I have these are the Highland Heather blends. So I've got the dark one. So I'm going to color the white ones with, now I don't know, oh, they're actually not too bad. So not perfect, but they will color. So that's another option for you, is to color these dots with your blends, just to give them something, a color other than white or very vanilla. So if you find you have always very vanilla left over because you don't use very vanilla cardstock very often, then color these with your blends and use them up. All right. All right, now I don't think I need any of this. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So let's just stamp this little guy with the light, the lantern, here in the corner with some bats around him. There we go. So as I said, there are dies that go with this what's it called? Frightfully Cute? No, Scary Cute. Not sure what I was thinking. Scary Cute. So there are dies that you can make some great cards. They're kind of silhouette dies, which is what really attracted me to this bundle. Okay, there we go. That's the inside of my card. Okay, I think that's kind of cute. I might add something to it afterwards, but I think that's a good start. So if you haven't looked at these Give It a Whirl dies, you definitely want to take a look at them, because they are so much fun to play with. And you can use all sorts of different stamps. So it doesn't have to be a Halloween stamp. It doesn't have to be a kid's stamp. Who wouldn't want to receive a fun interactive card to play with? All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. I will, if you're not part of my Facebook group, the link is underneath the video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, click that subscribe button so you get notified when I'm going live. I will be back live tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific, so I hope you'll join me then for another project. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.